Fish populations are declining as oceans warm, putting a key source of food and income at risk for millions of people, according to new research. Fish populations are declining as oceans warm, putting a key source of food and income at risk for millions of people around the world, according to new research published Thursday. The study found that the amount of seafood that humans could sustainably harvest from a wide range of species shrank by 4.1% from 1930 to 2010, a casualty of human-caused climate change. That 4% decline sounds small, but it's 1.4 million metric tons of fish from 1930 to 2010, said Chris Free, the lead author of the study, which appears in the journal Science. Scientists have warned that global warming will put pressure on the world's food supplies in coming decades. But the new findings, which separate the effects of warming waters from other factors, like overfishing, suggest that climate change is already having a serious impact on seafood. Fish make up 17% of the global population's intake of animal protein, and as much as 70% for people living in some coastal and island countries, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. Fish provide a vital source of protein for over half of the global population, and some 56 million people worldwide are supported in some way by marine fisheries, Dr. Free said. As the oceans have warmed, some regions have been particularly hard hit. In the Northeast Atlantic Ocean and the Sea of Japan, fish populations declined by as much as 35% over the period of the study. The ecosystems in East Asia have seen some of the largest decline in fisheries productivity, Dr. Free said. And that region is home to some of the largest growing human populations and populations that are highly dependent on seafood. Now a postdoctoral researcher at the University of California, Santa Barbara, Dr. Free began the research while a PhD student at Rutgers University. Marine life has been subjected to some of the most drastic effects of climate change. The oceans have absorbed 93% of the heat that is trapped by the greenhouse gases that humans pump into the atmosphere. A study published in January, also in Science, found that ocean temperatures were increasing far faster than previous estimates. Amid these changing conditions, fish are shifting where they live, in search of their preferred temperatures. High ocean temperatures can kill off both the fish themselves and the sources of food they depend on. Fish are like Goldilocks, they don't like their water too hot or too cold, said Malin L. Pinsky, an associate professor in the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences at Rutgers University and a co-author of the new study. In about a quarter of the regions studied, fish had expanded their range. Off the Atlantic coast of the United States, sustainable catches of black sea bass increased by 6% over the study period. Another quarter of the regions saw no significant changes in fish populations, like the Northwest Atlantic Ocean, where Atlantic herring are abundant. But half the regions did not fare as well. The Northeast Atlantic Ocean, home to Atlantic cod, the mainstay of fish and chips, saw a 34% decline in sustainable catches. Overall, more populations of fish declined than increased over the 8 decades in the study. The researchers focused on sustainable catches, using a measure developed by the United Nations that quantifies the amount of food that can be repeatedly harvested from a base population of fish. Fisheries are like a bank account, and we're trying to live off the interest, Dr. Pinsky said. Several previous studies have predicted that climate change would lead to fewer ocean fish in the future, but the new research looked at historical data to determine that the declines had already begun. This is going to be one of those groundbreaking studies that gets cited over and over again, said Trevor Branch, an associate professor at the University of Washington's School of Aquatic and Fishery Sciences, who was not involved in the study. Most of what I've seen before in terms of climate change impacts have been speculative, in terms of, we think this is what's going to happen in the future, this one's different. The researchers used a data set of 235 fish populations located in 38 ecological regions around the globe. The detailed data told them not only where the fish were but also how they reacted to environmental effects like changing water temperatures.